So this is chronic pain relief center. That's cute.
Right. This is a legal and licensed dispensary in California. You know, this is one of the nicer ones. It's important to keep in mind that there are some illicit shops that look just like this.
It can be really hard to tell. So we sent an undercover camera to see for ourselves. According to the California Bureau of Cannabis Control, this is an illegal vaping store. The thing is, it looks just like a legal one. Within minutes, we were able to purchase these illicit THC cartridges for $30 to $55 a piece. We paid cash, and there was no sales tax. And this store is also in California, where THC is legal.
Feels like we're at the Wild West in terms of actually figuring this out.
It is the Wild West. I think there needs to be more enforcement of the illicit shops and an easier way for consumers to identify which shops are operating legally. So this is the Doja app.
That's exactly why Mark Hawashi created Doja. Think of it as the Yelp for cannabis.
On the Doja app, I do see that people getting headaches and nausea.
When you've heard people were having symptoms and then subsequently tested, what have you found?
I found cartridges that test positive for over 15 different pesticides and even heavy metals, including lead and mercury.
Hawashi says a lot of consumers have no idea the products they're buying are fake.
The fake brands are easily identifiable because there's no testing, there's no government warning, and they have no child-resistant mechanism.
Those are big red flags.
Now this one's interesting because this is a really well done counterfeit. It has some information on the testing data here. It does have the government warning, and it does have a manufacture date and a batch number. This would be really confusing to the end user.
But that's what's happening. And when people say black market, they think they're buying a legitimate product.
And that has started to affect the legal companies which abide by the regulations, like Pure Vape.
We found that it is possible to purchase our cartridges and our packaging from a number of internet websites. This is the California.
Take a look. These are the authentic Pure Vape products that Art Kushkian sells. And now, look at what Art says is counterfeit packaging being sold online. They look exactly the same. The problem is, anyone can buy these and fill them with whatever they want.
Personally, I mean, it makes me feel very, very angry. But most importantly, it creates a possible danger to public of consuming products that are untested.
When you concentrate the THC, you concentrate everything along with it. So every pesticide that could have been in that plant material, if it went from, let's just say 20% THC, and now you've concentrated it to 80% THC, you've also concentrated the pesticides that same amount. So they're trying to get off of tobacco.
Myron Roney runs Bell Costa Labs, one of California's state-certified labs that approves products for consumer use. This year alone, Roney says they've tested more than 10,000 different products.
Vaping's been around this country for some time, more than a decade. What we're seeing is relatively new. When you add that into the equation, on top of all the testing you've done here, does it start to lead you to some sort of conclusion?
Yes, I think it leads us to really that there's something going on either in the illicit market that's causing this. You also have a challenge of average consumer not wanting to pay more. So they look at, well, I could buy this for $40, or I go to a legal store and buy it for $60.
One way the illicit market keeps the price down? By cutting the product. Let me show you what that means. A typical legal THC cartridge would have 70 to 90% pure THC distillate. The rest, terpenes, aromatic oils which give it flavor. In illegally cut cartridges, you might have only 40 to 50% THC distillate. The rest, terpenes and a cutting agent like vitamin E acetate, which is a near perfect cutting agent because it looks very much like the actual product, the same color and the same thickness. It would also pass something known on the street as the bubble test. Basically, if the bubble moves slowly, that should mean that it's viscous enough to be mostly pure THC oil.
When you look at any of these things, propylene glycol, vitamin E acetate, you superheat it, you breathe it into the lungs. Do we know what those molecules then do to the body?
So vitamin E acetate can convert into acetic acid, which is essentially vinegar. And when it heats up, I mean, you're then inhaling an acid.
It's why the CDC has identified vitamin E acetate as a chemical of concern. But here's the challenge. The illicit market is a moving target. And if it's not vitamin E acetate as a cutting agent today, before long, it'll be something new. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, Long Beach, California.